Hello and welcome to the first Gover podcast of 2017. Happy new thing. Woohoo! We're all alive and we're still here. With me in the studio today, the man so amazing they had to name an entire gym after him. It's David Gover. Hello, David Gover.
That's how you get introduced to the new year.
Yeah.
And from now onwards.
How's it going?
Yeah,
How was
good.
your Christmas? Did you indulge?
I think everyone's Christmas is the same, isn't it, really? Because you
If you're
spend
Christian.
time with your family,
Yeah.
and you overindulge, and then really enjoy it.
Then stop indulging. January the 1st, no drink, no nothing. Forever.
Do you want to talk about your New Year's resolutions? Did you make any in the end?
Yeah, I made one not to make any, and I'm sticking to it. It's going really well.
This is why you're not going to get anywhere this year, Matthew.
There's a motivational talk from David. This
No,
is
I
why
think
you're
it's a
going to
really
fail this year.
earnest mistake that you're making.
Shall we introduce our guest today?
Yes.
Mel Campbell. Hello, yoga teacher at Gover Gym.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Happy
How are
New
you?
Year.
Happy New Year.
Made any resolutions?
I was just thinking that when you asked. I think I just want to work harder in my own yoga practice.
Okay.
Learn some new moves. I want to strengthen my arms, which is going to help with our training.
So I think this is visual more than anything. I would describe Mel. Very short, very, very beautiful, but very, very slight and very bendy.
But not weak.
But not weak.
But not weak.
It's not weakly.
You can't be a yoga teacher and be weak, can you? Surely. No. Shall we do our news stories first this week?
Yes.
What have you got, David?
There was one on, and I think I read two, Matthew, and one of them was on the importance of sleep, and we all know that, and I bang on about it all the time.
Mhm.
So
I get my 4
I
hours.
Talk about that. But I actually think the other one's probably will be more useful at this time of year, so we'll do that. And it was about, and because I changed my line last minute, I can't remember who wrote it. This paper.
That's
but
fair. I won't hold it against you. Don't worry.
It's just about volume of training and chance of injury, and obvious. Well, I think it seems fairly obvious. As you increase the volume of your training, your chance of injury goes right up.
Yeah.
But also there's almost a linear correlation with performance as well. So the more training you do, your performance goes up as well. Probably the same with yoga as well, Mel, I should imagine. The more you do, the better you get at it.
Yeah, and you've got to be more aware of your alignment and being safe.
Yes. But I don't know.
That's the amazing mic technique. Can I just say, David put the mic over to Mel's mouth after she'd finished speaking. That was amazing.
Yeah, done.
Right.
Oh,
It's all right. It's January.
I think
There's a
it's
lot of
gone well
forgiveness
so
in this
far.
room. It's fine. It's fine. Right. You get.
Yes, volume of training. The more you train, the more the higher volume you do, the more likely you are to pick up an injury. And it's one of the things the paper mentioned was it's volume compared with what you're used to. So, for example, because I train 6 days a week, 'cause I love it, and I do an extra 10 minutes of something or an extra 20 reps of some exercise. It's probably not going to make too much of a difference. Probably enough to be a bit of overload and get a good result, but
To build you slightly for the next time.
exactly. Which is an important training principle. You can't get anywhere without overload. But anyway, I digress. People at this time of year, they've been sedentary, possibly not even through December, but maybe the whole of last year.
Yeah.
And they're coming in and they are getting into the gym and they're going to train 5 days a week, and it is just a fast track to an injury unless you've got a very, very good coach.
What is the take? You get quite a large take up in January, I'm imagining, through the gym doors.
Yes.
What amounts stick around, like percentage wise?
Fortunately, I couldn't tell you those numbers.
I want an exact percentage to decimal points, David. Now.
What you're getting at is that, of course, people do set lofty resolutions and they come in and they train hard, and then the reality kicks in about second week of Feb. They're like, this is hard work.
Yeah.
To maintain, and they'll slip, and then you'll get a cancellation in March. But the only stat I can give you about retention, Matthew,
I love stats, you know me.
is that on my gym, Gover Gym, is twice as good statistically as every other gym I've worked at least with retention.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No other names mentioned, obviously,
No
but
other names
twice as
mentioned.
good
No
as other
shots.
gyms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Right.
Only other gyms I've worked at.
Okay.
That I was privy to their numbers. This has become tedious very quickly. We've got a really good guest and we've got to talk to her.
I was going to move on to that just now, David.
sorry.
Thank you very much, though. That's really appreciated. Mel, hello. David and I have just done the first yoga class of the year with you. I haven't done a yoga class in about a year. David, I don't know.
Second ever yoga class.
Second ever yoga class. So you've been at Gover Gym for how long now?
Teaching at the gym.
Yeah.
I think 6 weeks now, 5 or 6 weeks.
And it's really getting really popular, isn't it? It was a really crowded class today.
Today it was great, yeah, full class. It was lovely. I saw lots of new faces, and there's some new, more guys in the class as well.
Yeah.
So I was talking about that to David before. It's nice that there's not just a female class.
Absolutely.
It's for everyone.
Nice mix.
What Mel actually said was that. Oh, thanks, Mel. I feel like I've been
Mel's got better mic technique than you. Can I just say?
What Mel actually said was there's this stigma that men feel they can't or shouldn't go to yoga classes, and when yoga was invented by all men.
Yes. Where is it from? Let's have a brief history of yoga. I mean, it doesn't have to be that detailed. So I'm not putting anything on you, hopefully, but give us a brief little history.
Okay. Well, yoga originated 5,000 years ago in India, and it was by some men that just absolutely removed themselves from society. They went to the caves. They just wanted to meditate and just be in themselves, away from it all.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that for days on end, just sitting there still, and they realised they needed to do some movement, and they're watching around them, and a lot of the movements are from animal poses like cat, cow, there's lion, there's snake.
Yeah.
And they just learned about all the body, and ultimately yoga was developed to better meditate. So they found those physical exercises to...
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when did it catch on in this country? Because, I mean, it's been obviously quite a while, 5,000 years, but when did it start really sort of catching on in this country?
I think it was like the 60s, 70s.
Are the Beatles responsible for yoga catching on in this country, basically?
Possibly.
Maybe.
I'm not sure of the exact date, but I think it was around then, and yeah, a couple of the yogis from India came over and brought it to the Western world. And yeah, they were all guys, and they showed everyone here.
And it just absolutely blew up, really, didn't it? I remember it really sort of getting very popular in the 90s for some reason. Everyone got quite new age in the 90s, and yoga came in. When did you get into it?
I only got into it seriously about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. And did you work out before then? Did you do other sort of fitness stuff before that?
I was training as a dancer before that.
Oh, right, okay.
So I did a lot of physical stuff.
Way. What type of dancing?
A bit of everything. Contemporary dance, so like ballet and things like that, and then commercial as well, like music video style stuff.
Wow. Did you get any jobs?
Right. Good question.
Yes.
Answer.
Well, I was still training. So
Right.
I trained up till I was 19, and I did do Harrods job. Harrods in London.
Wow.
I was a butterfly down the streets of London.
Well, who hasn't been a butterfly down the streets of London? You know, we've all been there in our lives. How did you find yoga, or did yoga find you?
Ooh. Well, I found yoga, I think, because I decided I didn't want to do dance anymore. And I still wanted to keep physical and stretch and just be very active.
Sorry,
And
what happened with the dance? What made you not want to do that?
well, I think I went to the wrong school. I went to 2 different schools training. It's like 5 years in total, and the last school was really, really commercial, and I was more contemporary, I was more balletic and things like that. Kind of missed my...
So you wanted to do the sort of more art side, and this was gearing you towards more getting commercials and music videos and stuff like that.
It wasn't really me. It was very competitive, like dog eat dog world.
Okay. like a stage
Can
school.
you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a stage school,
Yeah,
basically.
it was. Well, I went to the Brit school first.
Oh, you went to the Brits, okay.
Trampled on.
Yeah,
Oh,
shoved out the
no.
way. It was like, get yourself to the front, and I was just like cowering in the corner. So
So you moved
like,
into yoga.
this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just started doing yoga online, just on YouTube.
So that was with a mind to teach it in the end, was it?
No,
Or
not
just
at
as
all.
a...
I didn't even take my teacher training to teach. I just took my months. It was a month's intensive training that I just did last year, and I did that just for myself to better my practice. And then it was like the last halfway through, I just knew I wanted to teach it.
I like to imagine the training being in the foothills of the Himalayas or something like that, but I'm guessing it wasn't. It was in the sort of archway in Deptford or something.
It was actually in the jungle of Costa Rica.
No way! That's amazing. Is that better than the Himalayas? I think it's better than the Himalayas. The jungle of Costa Rica. Please talk more about
Sign
that.
me up.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it was hot yoga all day, every day.
Okay.
It was fine for me because I started once I left YouTube lessons. I went into the hot yoga studios in Liverpool, where I used to live, and then in Costa Rica it was a month, 7 days a week, about 8 hours a day.
Wow.
Training. It was hardcore. That's the best I've ever felt though, in my body and my mind as well. It was really like got you in the zone.
What's the difference between hot yoga and Bikram?
Bikram yoga is also hot. It's in a heated studio, but it's a set sequence, so you do the same thing every time.
Okay.
Hot yoga is just a flow in a hot room.
Right. Well, now we know. And so, how long in Costa Rica was it?
The course was a month.
Sorry, I was fully expecting you to say it was like in a studio. Honestly, a studio in like South London somewhere or something like that.
I did think I was going to do it in Liverpool, so I'm glad I went out to
Costa Rica, Liverpool.
That would have been a very different experience.
I imagine it would have
You
been.
would have been a teacher.
No, maybe not.
So, what was it about yoga that attracted you?
The non-competitive side,
Right.
which is what I've been trying to share with people. But I know naturally we're competing all the time, so it's quite hard to get people away from that. But it's really like, for you, your own practice, you can do it with your eyes closed. You don't have to worry about anyone else in the room. That's what I like about it. Everybody's unique. So it doesn't have to look a certain way. It has to feel a certain way. That's what it's about, feeling good and feeling your body.
Okay.
I've got a few issues with that, Mel.
Oh, this week's David's got issues. Fantastic.
Well, firstly,
our regular feature returns.
Firstly, you're in good company because Matthew pretends he's not competitive as well.
We had a whole podcast about that last time. It was fun.
But secondly, I like the idea of it has to feel right, and to a certain degree, you know, what kinesthetic feedback, and if it feels right, if people feel better for it, fine. But what if someone is not coordinated, and more to the point, they don't have a good sense of body awareness, so they think they're making the same shape as you, but they're not making the same shape as you. In fact, it's different and it's dangerous. Then surely it can't just feel right.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would not deny that. They'd have to. I'd love to like work with them more closely and adjust them and get them to look at their body. You can look down at your knee, look up at your elbow, things like that. So it can feel good, but they might have to come out of the variation, do the first level rather than the third level.
Yeah, sure. But okay, so I think I'm just being stupid. I don't know what you mean by it doesn't have to look right. It just has to feel right.
Oh, okay. I mean that I've just noticed there's lots of different levels in the classes that I teach, and everyone thinks they have to all look the same.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, no, I get it. I actually do get it.
So there is the variations, and there's like you can leave your knee on the floor or pick it up, things like that.
Because Mel was making some unbelievable shapes at the front of the class, and obviously I couldn't get anywhere near any of them.
I was doing all right. I don't know what you're talking about, really.
What people really want to know, Mel, is put Matthew out of his misery. Wasn't I better than him? I know yoga's not competitive, but I won, didn't I?
You won at yoga. Is that what you're saying? In the Premier League of yoga, you're what, Man United?
Well, don't need to put labels by it, Matthew.
You are literally putting labels by it.
You're sounding really bitter.
Let's take this outside, David. Now.
Wooden spoon yoga over there.
Wooden spoon yoga. There's a whole new class right there. I did quite enjoy it up until the point someone tried to reach out and trip me up and grab my leg from behind during a particular pose. I can't remember who was behind me.
Matthew.
Yes.
That is
yes,
hell of
David.
an accusation.
It is. I'm throwing it out
what
there.
What happened when I was doing my warrior stance?
Yeah. You looked at me and you thought, God, that's good. I cannot take this.
Truly though, Matthew, what happened was it's like a single leg deadlift. I don't know what it's called. It was we were on one leg's back behind me, and I tilting forward with my arms back behind. Warrior 3. So I was doing Warrior 3, Matthew, and I was about to lose my balance, and your leg was almost in my face. So I grabbed it for stability.
You look for the first thing to grab onto.
As something structural to hold on to, you weren't very good. Because you just came down with me.
I folded like a pack of cards. I just went right down.
Yeah.
So we've determined that I'm better at yoga than David, but let's move on from that. What questions have you got, David? I see you've got someone to your tongue.
What I really, really liked, and I do mean this, is at the start of the class you said very sincerely, I want you to take a moment and to think your personal reasons why you're here and what you want to get from this session, because I want you to get more what you want from this session, so keep that present in your mind. And I just thought well, that's a fantastic thing. You know, I'm going to actually steal that and use that when I train people.
It's a kind of
Because
mindfulness, isn't it? Is that right? Being present in the moment and feeling aware of your surroundings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea of it. Not to move really mechanically and habitually. Just like I've always done it like this, I'm going to do it like that, without consciously thinking I'm doing it because it feels good. It opens up my chest. I can feel the sensations in my forearm, whatever it is. Just really, it's being present for sure, and also making it intentional. So I'm glad that was received.
Now that it sounds ridiculous, but that I found really hard. Like when I was trying to, and you kept reinforcing that. Like I want you to sort of think about how it feels and this, and I could not stop my mind wandering every now and again. I don't know if I've got ADHD or anything like that, but I was trying to be sort of in it, and I was for stretches of it, and then I'd find I'd be thinking about something else, and I'd have to keep pulling my mind back to it, and so I feel like it's a learned skill.
Yeah.
Because
practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a definite practice, and like just noticing that you're doing that. It's like they say, it's like the witness. You're witnessing your experience. You're not in it, sucked in it, and just getting swayed around. You're noticing when your mind wanders, and it is repetitive. It's practice. You pull it back. It's yeah.
You're exercising another muscle, essentially,
yeah,
with the brain.
Of the brain, like that focus.
There you go. I think because I mean, you said you've done 2 yoga sessions now. It's not going to take just 2 hours to stop your mind wandering. It's not ADHD, David. Don't diagnose yourself after 2 hours of thinking about your life when you're trying to concentrate on. I don't know why I'm sort of trying to talk you down.
No, this is nice.
Yeah, it's okay, David. What I'm saying, David, is it's okay.
Matthew,
it's okay to be you.
Matthew doesn't blink. I've just found out. It's incredibly disconcerting. But no, but I do. It did make me think, because this year one of my resolutions, Matthew, was to try and not be so distracted with things, and when I'm doing something, to really commit to that and that only. And I thought that was, I sort of I had the whole I kept talking about how to set goals properly. I set that one rather whimsically, because I thought it'd be really easy. I just thought I need to be a bit more aware of it, but that takes some serious amount of concentration.
It does, but when you get into a bad habit, and I found this with my phone, my smartphone, is it has almost become, because of the nature of my work, an extension of my arm, and it is a horrible thing. That's I suppose I sort of have made a New Year's resolution, which is going to delight you, isn't it? You win.
Oh my gosh.
That I cannot be attached to the thing I'm currently holding anymore. I need to sort of put it in another room overnight. I need to sort of put it in a drawer. Because you get tied down by all these things, and they are literally habits. It's not alcohol, it's not drugs, but they're still habits, and it's really, really hard to break. Right, after a brief break, ironically to take a phone call, you join us in the middle of a very entertaining argument between Mel and David about if you can indeed beat someone at yoga.
Well, I don't know why Mel's been funny about this, because if there was someone watching Mel and I do yoga, and by the way, my hamstrings are ridiculous. That's an issue. Unfortunately, I played sport all my life from a very young age.
Yeah.
I didn't have the best stretching routine, i.e. none
until
my probably
until January this year.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
No mobility work. But if someone was to see Mel, who is incredibly proficient, and myself yogaing, they would say, that's better. She wins. Like that. Not she wins. That's really much better. And Mel was saying, "Oh no," because what were you saying, Mel?
I was trying to say that you have to feel it, and if you're trying to make yourself look like me or someone else in the room, then you're going to hurt your body, and your back feels the stretch at this level. My back feels the stretch at the next level. So
and I can't believe I'm backing David up here, but surely you're working towards a pose, like a sort of full stretch, right? And there is sort of the best way of doing a particular pose. Is that right? I'm not trying to catch you out.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, and I have to question this all the time. Like now, working in the gym and competitiveness, because you're working towards getting into that pose. But you can't win. You can't have a winner and a loser when you're at 2 different levels, because there's always more for the next person to do. There's no end goal.
I can tell you what David's thinking now. If those people are at 2 different levels and one's a level below the other, that's the loser.
The higher level.
One's the winner. David?
It's clear cut. No, but I do appreciate that you can. In fact, Mel, I probably got more out of today's session than you did because it was so much. Well, because I've got so much further to go. So maybe I did beat you at yoga.
I like that. That's a much better way of winning.
I won.
Wicked. You won.
David
Everyone,
won.
David won.
Everyone just agree that David won and we can move on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We are drawing a line.
No, but I did sincerely hate being. I hated finding it as hard as I found it, and it was. This
it's
class
working.
was
then.
amazing. Yeah, I felt incredible after it.
Yeah.
I really, really did, and I am gonna continue to go. That is one of my many New Year's resolutions, Matthew.
Okay.
I couldn't believe how difficult it was. I was in. I don't know if this is right, but I was in quite a considerable amount of discomfort for, I would say, the majority of it. Mel, is that not right? Am I doing it wrong? Having beaten you at yoga, I'm doing it wrong.
No, I think like discomfort. Hopefully, there's a difference between discomfort and severe pain, where you're like,
definitely.
yeah, and like discomfort that comes up in yoga, like to allow you to work on the mindfulness. Like these poses are quite crazy. Some of these poses seem ridiculous, and you have to be able to find that focus, the breath. Focusing on your breath.
It's so much about the breath, isn't it?
It is stilling your mind. You use your breath to calm your mind, having that mindfulness, not letting your mind run away. And then the pose isn't so uncomfortable.
It does literally balance you out, the breath. You feel yourself sort of tottering from side to side. You breathe properly. You are suddenly glued to the ground.
Well, breathing, as we discussed, I think earlier, is one of the first things that we teach people. It has I can never remember if it's sympathetic or parasympathetic response, but it can literally calm you down. So, reduce stress hormone, slow your heart rate. And so, I mean, it's an incredibly powerful tool. And a lot of people do not breathe properly.
Yeah, I was going to say, so many people forget to breathe, don't they, Mel?
Yeah, they do. And I have to say that sometimes in class, like, don't hold your breath, because it's like a reflex, and that's where the connection of the mind and the breath, they're so related. If you're anxious, you'll notice your heartbeat picks up, and then you're breathing, and then you kind of get in a circle, and you're like, which is making this emotion? Is it my breath or is it my mind? And that's when you can like step back, and if you can control one of them, the other one gets controlled as well.
Follows. Yeah.
So it's like taking control of it rather than being run by your mind or run by your breath changing. You've got that, you can anchor it and keep that focus.
Another thing that I found really interesting today is we're just lying on the floor, my absolute favourite pose.
It's a good pose. What's it called?
Shavasana.
Shavasana. Okay.
I was doing that.
Yeah,
And,
Shavasana. Yeah.
And to all intents and purposes, someone said, "Are you relaxed?" I'd have answered, "Yes, I am relaxed." And then Mel just started naming body parts pretty much. She's like, "Right, relax your toes, like relax your ankles, like get rid of." And I swear to God, I just those bits started getting more relaxed.
Yeah.
Sorcery.
It was the
But
jaw.
I don't trust it.
When she said relax your jaw, I was like, oh God, my jaw is actually tense. And I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Am I clenching? I don't know.
That's really cool that you noticed that, because I think it's like awareness, like yoga, the breath, the mind, all of this is bringing awareness to things that we're not even realising we're doing. And we are like tensing a lot in our life, and we're really good at tensing and contracting the muscles. It's actually harder to release them. So you might notice from yoga a particular thing that you are doing off of the mat, and then you can relax it, release it throughout the day.
And how much does yoga play in your everyday life? Are you ever conscious of breathing properly, moving well? I mean, just sitting there now, I'm melted into the couch. Matthew is now bolt upright, but was goleming it over in the corner.
Goleming it. Amazing.
And you have a perfectly neutral spine, sitting very, very tall. Yeah, so are you conscious of that? Or?
Yeah, I think I'm like hyper conscious of it, because yoga is my life.
It does
like,
take over, doesn't it?
It does, and this is my full-time work. Like, it's everything I do, and it's my own practice. It's what I do every day for my health and everything. So even just sitting and stuff, I'm noticing my breath and my posture. But that's what I love about yoga, is it's not just on the mat. It transfers into your daily life, And I noticed with my posture, because obviously I'm not like perfectly upright and breathing perfectly all day, every day. It's like the commitment of noticing when you're not, and then coming back to it and noticing how it affects your mood and your confidence. Like your posture massively affects your confidence.
So if there was a cynic sitting in this room, which there isn't, but if there was a cynic and you needed to sort of say, they said, give me 5 reasons that I should do yoga, otherwise I'm out of here now. Give me 5 good reasons that I should take up yoga. What would you say? It doesn't have to be 5. I've made a stress now. The body language has changed.
Mel just lost every bit of zen.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. That's what I'm
ridiculous.
here for.
5 reasons. Okay, posture. I think that's a big thing people struggle with. Like shoulders back, chest open posture, which helps with confidence. It helps with your breathing, the whole respiratory system. All the muscles are exercised. Flexibility. Most people are noticing stiffness. And lower back issues. I get a lot of clients saying they have issues with lower back. So a lot of people I work with are doing it for that reason. Because a lot of people feel that there's sections of their back rather than all the vertebrae able to move independently. People feel like there's blocks and they fold and it's in like 3 stages rather than really like having that connection to the whole of their spine.
Because David was saying that earlier before we started recording about the sort of the children's spine as opposed to the adult spine. What was it you were saying?
Well, part of one of the movement screens we do is just get people to do a side profile of them, and we get to put their chin on their chest and try and roll every vertebrae individually. And what you'll see if you get a youngster to do this, they will have a really lovely continuous curve, and there'll be fairly even flexion between the vertebrae. And when adults, especially guys that have office jobs and stuff, and they will have maybe like 3 pivot points, and the rest will be almost flat. So you're getting like loads of curvature from one point and nothing from 3-4 vertebrae.
So flat as in compressed. Is it
flat as in there's no movement in certain periods. So it would literally be.
And that's not good, right?
No, that is not good. That's not good for a plethora of reasons.
So the full aim is to hopefully get back to the sort of the child state.
For the most part, that movement can be reclaimed as well.
Right. And Mel, yoga's a good way of doing that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's call that point 4.
Yeah, we work a lot on the back and just getting used to the curvature of the spine and
stacking the vertebrae at the end is a very important thing as
definitely.
well, isn't it?
And just like dropping your chin first, going through those stages to roll down rather than just like plonking down.
So it being New Year, there's going to be a lot of people thinking, maybe I'll give yoga a try. Can they start it at home? Can they look at some poses online and then do a class, or would you say do a class and then sort of try it on your own?
I love yoga on YouTube. I think it's brilliant. That's how I started learning. And people that come to my classes or they want to come to more and they can't make it, I say, try YouTube. And for beginners, I think it's a nice place to start because they haven't got to worry about anyone else in the room or keeping up, and takes the pressure off a little bit. If you do a little session, you can just do 15 minutes online, and then you just have some awareness of the poses or things like that. So
great.
Are there any particular that you would recommend?
Yes, I was actually talking to Ryan, one of the guys that comes to my class every week. He's very committed and he loves it. He's doing stuff at home as well, and he says yoga with Adrienne, and I recommend her. That's who I use as well.
Yoga with Adrienne.
Yoga with Adrienne.
Adrienne.
Yeah,
Okay. Adrienne.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's great.
I can get a rant on.
Please do. We've got 3 minutes left, David.
Okay,
3-minute rants.
Perfect. So, we can spend this time better. I want to ask Mel some things because
do whatever you want with this 3 minutes.
Okay, Mel, just quickly, you seem like a very zen, relaxed person. When did you last flip your lid?
I don't really get angry. Like, I don't know. I just maybe I get like a bit like with myself. I can be a bit like tough on myself. But no, I don't think I get angry. I get like I have emotions. I get upset about things.
Yeah.
And stuff.
You're not a robot. What's the funniest named yoga pose? What's got the stupidest name?
I like Hanumanasana.
Hanumanasana.
Hanumanasana. It's basically splits.
Oh my god.
And it's because Hanuman is a monkey god in the Hindu scriptures where yoga is from, India. And It's the monkey pose, Hanumanasana.
Hanumanasana.
I like that one.
I've got a question. Do you meditate? Is that part of yoga?
What sort of meditation is it? Is it transcendental?
Ooh,
I'm
I
getting
love
really
that.
interested in this.
Well, I love Ram Dass, and he talks all about transcendental meditation.
Okay.
Right, what are you talking
It basically means that it's almost an out of body experience. Apparently, it's akin to taking LSD, but just in a natural way. Transcendental.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically removing yourself from this physical identity
Mm.
and tapping into the awareness that you're an energetic being.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's lovely. It's like a weight lifted because that's quietening the mind as well, and not identifying so much with like all this stuff that we cling to, like our name, our job, our routine.
Mm.
It's like you just kind of let that go, and you're just being, and that's what yoga is working towards, is letting all of that go, just being.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've done transcendental. Have you won at it? That's the question. Have you won at transcendental? No, you've done it. Have you?
Oh yeah.
So it's another thing you really have to train your brain for, isn't it? To let go.
Yeah, it's letting go and just.
Sorry. Did you feel like you were tripping?
Well, I've never like done LSD, but I.
No,
can
having read
imagine-
up on transcendental meditation.
Or me?
No, not me. But having read up on transcendental meditation, apparently it's akin to a LSD experience.
But yeah, you do feel like you're out of your body, and it's amazing. Like you feel really part of the galaxy. Just like as that
Whoa.
sounds.
Soundbite.
So.
Amazing. How can I be part of the galaxy? I am already, aren't I?
We're all made of stars, mate. We're all made of stars.
You guys.
And on that bombshell, I'm going to round up the podcast this week. We're going to be back next week. David, final thought?
Okay, final thought is at this stage, you're probably not already struggling to stay with your New Year's resolutions. Can a couple of them focus on one and absolutely dominate it? And have like some sort of chart where you cross it off each evening. So every evening is like a success when you do it. And just focus on one of them and dominate it. And don't give yourself a break. Don't stress about the other ones.
Nice final thought. Mel, thank you for coming along today.
Thank you
Been
very
a
much.
pleasure to talk to you. We'll have you back another time. Talk
Great.
about transcendental meditation a bit more. Maybe we'll all do it and then do a podcast about it. Yeah.
We'll do it.
That'd be amazing. Guys, thank you very much
And
for coming today. And
Can Mel have a
David's
final
got-
thought?
Yeah,
I
Mel,
know I'm
you
talking
go
about-
for
I've had
it.
too much caffeine by heart.
That was a triple shot coffee, just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, I feel absolutely buzzed.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Mel, how can I be... Well, just
Better
one
person.
tip. How can I be more relaxed? A little bit more Mel.
Aw.
Not a triple shot coffee, maybe.
That's like that. I think just keep your awareness on your breath. So whenever you notice that you're not as relaxed as you can be, notice your breathing, calm it down. Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Thank
Guys, namaste. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
And we will see you next week. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.